What's up YouTube? For tonight's video, we have a full evil Pokemon team. Now these were Pokemon in the anime that were evil or controlled to be evil. There was a couple of Pokemon that actually turned out to be good afterwards, but I thought I'd do a team with all these. Now actually asked people what this was on live stream. A couple of people got it yesterday, so congratulations to you. Any theme teams in the comment section, people, any feedback on the video as well would be wonderful. Who was the most evil Pokemon to you in the anime? Put it below in the comment section. I'd like to hear your thoughts. If you enjoy these, people, give that like button a smash, and let's get into this one. So I was running an Ubers team with this one. They weren't all Ubers, but I was using Mewtwo, which made it an Ubers battle. So we have a Gengar lead, which wasn't too bad for me, but my strategy wasn't going to work really good against this. It normally works good when I'm able to swap, but let me run through what this is. This is a this is a future sight Mewtwo, so I've got max speed, max special attack. So the idea is to go for the future sight, right? And then I've got Miracle Eye on this to hit dark types, and I've also got laser focus to get 100% crit, and I've got substitute as well. So you can go for the future sight, and if you're able to get up a laser focus, then substitute down, and to get a critical hit with future sight, it's amazing. This was funny. So Darkrai is going to come in here. We had Xerneas swap in, then I went for the future sight. So obviously the thing, okay, well I'm going to be able to tank this psychic type move because it's a dark type. Now the Darkrai is going to go for the nasty plot here, and man, I could not have got a better start, because not only did the Darkrai expect not to be able to hit by a future sight, it set up a nasty plot and get shreked by a critical hit from future sight. So laser focus makes it 100% crit. So it was a very, very fun set to use. Obviously it's very gimmicky and situational, but it is fun. So now Gengar is going to come in. So it's going to be Mega Gengar, which is going to trap me in. So there's not much I can do here. I thought, well, the least I could do right was go for Future Sight. That would do some solid damage to any of the Pokemon on the team, bar one, which you'll see in a sec. So going for Future Sight on Mega Gengar, I outspeed that, which is cool. Now it's going to go for a Taunt. So I'm pretty much shut down by Taunt if I don't get off my Future Sight. And all my other moves I really can't use. So the only move I can use now is Future Sight. So I decided to stay in. Now it's going to go for the Hex. Normally Hex on Mega Gengar is usually ran, in my experience, with Will-O-Wisp. So that's very, very powerful. I actually take that one, which was nice. I actually thought it was going to be enough to take me out. Anyways, I could stay in here, or I could swap out. They're actually going to swap out their Mega Gengar and come into Lugia. So I knew they'd probably swap into Lugia, because Lugia is just an annoying, bulky wall. Now it's going to get hit by the Future Sight. So I kind of wanted to see what moves Lugia would have. So Mewtwo was kind of expendable at this point in the game, because I already got rid of Darkrai, which is absolutely amazing. Like, that was more than I hoped for. And I just wanted to check out what moves it normally has. I kind of know what moves Lugia normally gets. Normally it's just a bulky stalling set, like Roost, Toxic, Ice Beam, Side Shock, Roar, those kind of, Whirlwind, those kind of moves it normally runs. So anyway, it's going to go for the Ice Beam, and funnily enough, I'm not actually going to go down to that. I live on 3 health, so that was quite funny. Now I was thinking I could save my Mewtwo here. Maybe I could swap it in and go for Future Sight later on. That could be an option too. I was a little bit worried about that Xerneas 2 coming in, because it could set up Geomancy against me, and I would not be able to get the Future Sight and Laser Focus off, so I didn't want to get set up on either. So I'm going to go for the Laser Focus, and it's just going to take me out with the Ice Beam. That's fine. I was already prepared to lose Mewtwo and swap something else in. I actually had a Pokemon specially for bulky, annoying Pokemon. So this was the evil Malamar from the anime. Now, Mewtwo actually, in the first movie, like it started off evil due to kind of its treatment and those sort of things, and not knowing a lot about the Pokemon world. But then in the end, it changed its personality, which was great. I remember when I watched that movie as a kid, those feels when Ash got turned to stone. Anyway, so this bit I'm going to have to speed up. So swapping in my Malamar, and I'm actually trapping the Lugia in with a block Toxic combo. This also has Rest, Chesto Berry on as well, and Reflect for a little bit of extra bulk. I could have run a Rest Sleep Talker, but I didn't want it this time. I know, amazing, right? So anyway, Lugia cannot get past me, even if it has some sort of form of recovery, like Roost, like it just did. It's not going to be able to take me out at all. I've got Rest, and it's just not doing enough damage. The EVs on this were max health, max special defense. That usually ran the best out of all the spreads that I was trying out. Anyway, so Lugia is going to eventually go down to this Toxic. There's nothing to do, and I get rid of that, which is really nice, because that would have been a very difficult Pokemon to get through if I didn't have Toxic or anything along those lines. So that's cool. Malamar is going to take that out, which is nice. Now we have Gengar coming in. Obviously, with that's going to be able to trap me in. It can go for any kind of move to take me out. I can't do anything either, because I'm only got Toxic and it's already a Poison type. So it's going to go for Taunt. And that's pretty good because even though I got taunted right, that means I'm actually going to be able to use Struggle. So I'm actually going to be able to land a hit against the thing, which is pretty funny. So it's going to go for the Sludge Wave. I think that missed. Sorry, they went for the Will-O-Wisp, which missed. I actually do some damage to it. So it's quite funny if they just attacked instead of going for the taunt, making me struggle. But then again, they try to do the disrespect struggle. So I understand that. So they're going to go for Sludge Bomb, and that's going to take out my Malamar, which is fine. So Malamar did a solid job, take out Lugia. You know, I could not have hoped for anything better than that. So swapping in my physical Celebi, this is a Choice Scarf Celebi. I've got Seed Bomb, U-Turn, Zen Headbutt, and Trick with Choice Scarf, Max Attack, Max Speed. Now, I'm going to go for the U-Turn. Does a little bit of damage. Now, I wasn't 100% sure what to swap in, or should I go for the Zen Headbutt, but I didn't think it'd take it out, so I decided to go for the U-Turn, then go into Zygarde to try and draw out that Sludge Wave. Anyway, so it's going to go for the Sludge Wave. That's not going to do much to Zygarde. Now, Zygarde was really good in this battle. This was, like, both the battles, actually. This was a max speed, max special attack Zygarde with Choice Spec, so it worked rather nicely. I've got Sludge Wave, Focus Miss, Core Enforcer, and Grass Knot. Those moves tended to work the best in this tier. So going for the, I love this move. I love Core Enforcer. It's a really cool move. Going for the Core Enforcer, that's going to be enough to take out the Gengar. And that is down, so that's cool. Things are going really well at the moment. We've buried half the team already, and the Malamar performed really well and did its job. Mewtwo did its job, getting rid of a Dark-type Pokemon. Anyway, so now we have the Groudon that's definitely not Primal. Now, I can go for another Core Enforcer here, or I could just swap out into something else. I'm not really sure what normally it carries Stealth Rock, like it's a Stealth Rocker, like maybe Lava Plume, Precip Blades, those kind of moves. Roar, they're the sort of usual moves you see on Primal Groudon. Anyway, so I'm going to outspeed it and go for the Core Enforcer. Once again, it's going to do some pretty good damage. As I said, I'm Specs, so that does nice. So I'm happy with that. That does just over half health. It's going to go for the Precip Blades, and that's going to do like lots of damage to me. The thing about Primal Groudon is even when it doesn't have anything invested in attack, it still does a lot of attack. So if I wasn't burned, then I actually would have led that one, but I'm going to go down to that, which is fine. Zygarde did a wonderful job there. So swapping in Hooper. Now this Hooper was a really funny set. It worked quite well. This is actually a Trick Room Hooper. Now, I've got in this Trick Room, I've got Zen Headbutt, Gunk Shot, and I've got Fling with Magician Iron Ball. So the idea is to get the Trick Room right against the opponent, and then go for Fling your Iron Ball away, and then you can attack them, and then you can get their item back with Magician, and then you can fling it again. So you can just keep getting items and flinging them. It's very, very fun, and it's stab too. So going for the Gunk Shot on the Xerneas, thank God I brought that. Oh, it just lives on the tiniest amount of health, and obviously it's going to go for the Moonblast. There's no way I'm going to be able to live that from Xerneas, and that is down. I was a little bit worried about the Geomancy Power Herb, but maybe that with the Trick Room up, they basically just had to attack me. Anyway, so I've got Meowth left. Meowth was an absolute boss in this battle. This is my Home Claws, Flail, Knockoff, Iron Tail Meowth with Focus Sash, Max Attack, Max Speed. So going for that risky Iron Tail, and boy, it takes it out, so that's good. Meowth gets the Xerneas kill. I'm very happy about that. I couldn't risk going for the Flail or the Knockoff because it could have lived. So now we have Primal Groudon coming in. So I can go either here for the Home Claws and then get the Flail damage off, or I could swap into Celebi. I thought I could swap into Celebi here because that's going to resist the Blades, and that Trick Room is going to basically wear out too. So anyway, it's going to go for the Blades on the swap, which I predicted. That's not going to do too much to Celebi. It's going to be able to resist that, which is fine. I guess it's about a 4-hit KO around there. Anyways, so I'm going to go for the Seed Bomb since the Trick Room is down. It doesn't do a hell of a lot to Groudon, but that's really all I wanted to do. It goes for a Roar. I thought it would go for a Lava Plume or something like that, or at least a Fire-type move. Maybe it didn't have anything to actually take me out with. I'm not sure. So Meowth is going to get dragged out. Now this is my opportunity to go for the Home Claws. Sorry, the Trick Room is now down. I'm going to go for Home Claws on this one because Bugger, I think I'm going to be able to outspeed this. Normally they're bulky. Sometimes they can be speedy sweepers though, but that wasn't the case in this battle. So now I'm getting hit by the Blades. That's going to take me all the way down to my Focus Sash, which is going to put me in my maximum damage for Flail. So I can go for Flail against Groudon. I've got the Home Claws up, so that's going to be enough to take out the Groudon, which is hype. So there's one more Pokemon left. You can probably guess what this is going to be. It's going to be the definitely not Primal Kyogre. So I've got my maximum power on Flail, right? I've got one Home Claws up, so I thought that's probably not going to be enough to take it out, but if it's a sweeping set, this is going to do a lot of damage to it, right? This is going to do lots of damage. So it's going to Digivolve. I can go for Flail or Knockoff, Flail was really, my best option here because that was stab. It doesn't, there was no point in me going for knockoff as Flail was my most powerful attack. So going for Flail anyways, and it does lots of damage, and it lives on like 1 health. I can't believe that. Oh, I wanted to get that kill, and it's going to take me out with Origin Pulse, and oh, that was so close. Someone do a compilation of all the Pokemon that lived on 1 health. Please, someone just do it for me. Anyway, so I'm swapping Celebi in here. Since I'm Choice Scarf, I'm going to go for the Disrespect U-turn and take out the Primal Kogol that's on like 1 health. And that is the first game. Man, that was fun. I got to use like all of my Pokemon to usually their best. I got to use all their strategies basically to the best of my abilities. So that's cool. All right, next battle we have against is Katie on my chat. So we have a Milotic lead, this was really painful. So I've got my Zygarde leading off this time. So I thought, well, if it's got an Ice move, this could be a problem. Maybe I should stay in, or maybe I should risk, I could swap it out, or I could risk it by staying in. I decided to swap out because just in case it had an Ice move on the off chance, that would not be good. So I went to Malamar, which was a bulky special defensive wall. You guys know this set already. So it's going to be a Coil Milotic, which is going to have like probably Dragon Tail, Aqua Tail, Iron Tail, those kind of moves. And it's very, very bulky. So I had to go for Toxia. I had no choice. I've got to get rid of this thing. Sometimes they can have Recover as well. So, like a lot of time, Milotic will have Recover. So I've got the Toxic up on it. That's good. That at least got that. So now it's going to go for Dragon Tail. So that's going to phase me out of there. Thank goodness there's no like traps on the field because this could be painful. So now obviously Zygarde is going to come back in. So I'm like, okay, well that's not too bad. It's not going to be an Ice Beam set unless it's like a crazy ass mix set. So I've got the Poison Hammering. Now I can go for my best move, my Core Enforcer. That's going to do the most damage as I possibly can. So obviously I'm going to outspeed it since Dragon Tail is negative priority. And, Aqua Tail and Iron Tail, if the Milotic did have that, we're not going to obviously take it out. So it does a lot of damage on specs, as I mentioned before. Now the Dragon Tail, it's only a +1, so it's not going to do too much damage. And it's coming from a Milotic, which isn't stab either. So this is starting to get annoying. So I've got to take this thing out. So Malamar gets swapped back in. I'm like, oh, I can't really do anything to this. The best I can really do here is to go for Reflect. Milotic is going, it's almost going to go down here. However, now it's going to go for the Waterfall, so it doesn't have the Aqua Tail, it's got the Waterfall instead. So going for Reflect, that's going to set up a +2 in defense, which is going to make me a lot more bulkier. Now, I was thinking, well, Milotic isn't going to be able to go, isn't probably going to go for Recover if it did have it. So I thought, let's go for Rest here. It's probably going to take me with that again, try and go for the Flinch at least, or just get as much damage off as possible against my Malamar. I went for the Rest, and the Toxic is going to be enough to take out the Milotic. I've got the Chester Berry too, so that's going to wake me up instantly. So that was my only way to get around the Milotic, so that was good. The Reflect actually saved me there. I normally would have run Sleep Talk on that, so the one time I kind of switched up my moves, it actually worked out rather nicely. So Milotic is down, the bulky Milotic. I quite like running that with Coil too. It's good. You can teach it all like the tail moves. I've got to do that team one time, all the tail moves. So now we have Volcanion coming in. Oh boy. Okay, so now it's just Z move right off the bat here. I was like, okay, well if this is actually coming from Flamethrower or Fire Blast, I wasn't sure what it would come from, like what move it was, like Fire Blast. If it was Fire Blast, I wasn't confident I'd live. If it was Flamethrower, I was like, well, this is going to come very, very close. I could actually live this because as I mentioned, I was running Max Health and Max Special Defense. All right, so Volcane is going for a Z move there. Some fried calamari for you people. And I lived that one on 30 health, and I'm able to get the Toxic off. So that was really good. I was able to tank that one. So now I was like, okay, this would be interesting to see what the Volcane is going to use. I was guessing after seeing that damage there was going to be Flamethrower because, Fire Blast is very, very powerful on the Z move and as well on Volcano, man. That just nukes stuff. So now it's going to go for the Flamethrower. That's going to be enough, obviously, to take over Malamar. But Malamar did a fine job on the Milotic and it got the Toxic up on Volcanion too. Now, this was the option what I should swap in here. So I know that it's going to have Steam Eruption and normally always does. So I thought, let's see if we can get this Hooper action. The only thing I was a little bit worried about was the burn on Steam Eruption. Now the Volcano is going to go for Steam Eruption on my Hooper, which is going to do a lot of damage to me. It's got fairly decent special defense. Oh, and I get burned, which sucks. I'm going to go for Trick Room. This is a... Oh, I didn't run over what EVs this was in nature. This was a Brave Hooper, max attack and max health. This was the Fling set with Iron Ball. Unfortunately here I'm burned, so that's going to halve my attack. I would have loved to go for the full power Fling. Anyway, so I've got no choice. I've got to go for my strategy, which is flinging the Iron Ball. And look how much damage it does under even though it's burned. So anyway, Volcano's got to go for yet another Steam Eruption. That's going to be enough to take out my Hooper. However, it is Toxic from before. So that's going to be enough to take out the, the Volcanion as well. So that worked out rather nicely. If it didn't burn, though, I would have been in a very strong position under Trick Room with Fling and Gunk Shot and Zen Headbutt, but that's how it was. So, now we have the Zygarde bringing that one back in. Zygarde actually did fairly well at this battle. So now we have... Oh, guys, we got Rowlet. So we kind of... Since my team was like a mix of Ubers and there was a couple of little cut Pokemon in there, we kind of wanted to make the tiers a little bit even. So now it's going to go for the Confuse Ray against my Zygarde. What is this Rowlet going to do? I'm scared of it, guys. This is the Pokemon I was like just scared of most. All right, so I'm going to hit myself for Confusion. Never saw that one coming. Now the Rowlet is going to be a Leaf Blade, a physical set. I was wondering what item it would have. Would it have like Focus Sash or would it have Everlight? Like what item is actually going to run? So anyways, I'm going to go for the Sludge Wave against the Rowlet, locking myself into that. It does pretty good damage, but the Rowlet actually takes a super effective Sludge Wave spec. So it's got to be Everlight. I'm like, oh, I've got to swap out this. I'm scared of this Rowlet. So swapping into Celebi because I know it's going to go for a Grass type move. I can resist that. And Choice Scarf too. So now it's going to go for the Leaf Blade. Thank goodness it wasn't a critical hit. The Twisted Dimensions also returned to normal too, so I was counting down when that was going to happen. So just trying to finish off the Rowlet here with the U-turn, and it lives again! Oh, damn it! Guys, Rowlet is a threat in Ubers. You just have to know that. Anyway, so swapping back in Zygarde, I've got to beat this Rowlet. I just got to get this off my chest, people. So now the Rowlet's going to go for the Shadow Claw. Fortunately for me, it doesn't crit, which is good. Now I'm going to outspeed it since the Trick Room is now gone. I'm going to go for lock myself in for the Core Enforcer. Now, I wasn't sure before early if that made it obvious that I was choiced. I'm not sure, but I had to go for that one anyway because the remaining Pokemon, they would be able to resist the Sludge Bomb as Sludge Wave, as you'll actually see in a sec. So now we have a Drampa. Now I've got my Core Enforcer up, which is I'm locked into that. I'm going to outspeed it. Now I was wondering if this would add something to actually resist it, like Assault Vest or something, like if it would like just live, get a Berserk off, and then actually take me out with whatever like Dragon type move. But I one-shot it, and Drampa is down. So it's probably clear what item I actually have at this point in the game. So now we have the Landorus Theron form. So this thing I was a little bit worried about too. It's going to have Intimidate. That's not really going to worry me too much. So I went for Core Enforcer because that was my best option. I'm going to outspeed it. So I'm like, okay, and this must be like a bulky set or something like that. Anyway, so going for the Core Enforcer on that, it does a lot of damage. It actually almost takes it out. They're going to go for Sword Dance. It's like, oh, Phil, I'm glad I didn't swap there because I was actually kind of close to swapping into another Pokemon. So that's good. Really, the Landorus Theron form, it cannot swap at this point in the game because the last Pokemon doesn't want to swap into a Specs Core Enforcer from Zygarde. And Zygarde is going to go for another Z move. That's going to be enough to take out that. So I'm very glad that I didn't swap on that one. That could have been disastrous. So now we have the last Pokemon, which is the Darkrai. So I know that I'm not going to be able to outspeed this. Now it's going to go for the Spatial Rend, which is going to be super effective against my Zygarde, and there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to live that one. I'm already like weakened already. I think that probably nearly would have one-shotted me. Or it would have been a very, very close one-hit KO. So now, the other two Pokemon I've got remaining, you guys know I've already got that Meowth, but I thought I'd bring in my Mewtwo here. It's like, if I can get this Mewtwo strategy off like twice in a row, it would be amazing. So going for the Future Sight anyway, I know the Darkrai could go for Dark Pulse. I was hoping he actually would go for Nasty Plot because I was going to go for the, I was going to go for that, then I was going to go for Laser Focus, then go for Miracle Eye. However, it's going to attack me. I just live on a little bit of health from the Dark Pulse. I'm so thankful for that. Mewtwo actually has reasonable bulk for a sweeper, so I'm able to get the Miracle Eye off. Now, since Darkrai is the last Pokemon, it's going to be identified. It cannot swap out, so it's going to actually be identified for the rest of the game. My Mewtwo is going to go down, but Mewtwo did the work because it actually identified the Darkrai. So now, when Future Sight hits, it's actually going to land on it. So swapping on my Celebi, so since I'm making use of that Miracle Eye from the Mewtwo, now I can land a Zen Headbutt on the Darkrai, which is hilarious. It does a lot of damage too, and Darkrai is going to go for the Dark Pulse, which is super effective against my Celebi, and obviously that's going to take my Celebi out. The last Pokemon I've got left is the Focus Sash Pokemon, but the Future Sight is going to take it out, and that is game. I hope you guys enjoy this. Man, I got to use Miracle Eye and Darkrai twice. I was so happy about that. All right, peace out.